We are still going to look at adaptation to aquatic habitat, this time with emphasis on amphibians and plants. Let's look at some examples of questions based on this. Example 1. Which of these adaptive features is not necessary for aquatic plants? A. Cuticle over the leaves. B. Stomata on the leaves. C. Air spaces or air sacs in the tissues. And D. Reduced leaves. Now, the plant is already inside water. What is the cuticle over the leaves doing? Is to protect the leaf from getting wet. What is the stomata on the leaf doing? Is to be able to remove excess water from the body through transpiration. What is the air space or the air sacs in the tissue doing? Is to keep the plant buoyant in the water. That is to float in the water. D. Reduce leaves. What is the essence of reducing leaves? The size of the leaf is just to reduce the rate of transpiration. But in this case, the plants inside water have no need to care about water loss from the body. So the question again, which of these adaptive features is not necessary? So D is not necessary. Answer to our question is option D, reduce leaves. Example 2. The development of long petiole is to ensure A. Exposure of the flowers to the agent of pollination. B. Exposure of fruits to agents of dispersal. C. Exposure of leaves to sunlight. D. That the buds are protected from water damage. The formula to answer this question is, what is this petiole? The petiole. The petiole is the stalk of a leaf. So the stalk that holds a leaf is the petiole. What is it ensuring? Is it to ensure flowers to be known? Flowers are not produced in the leaves. Now, exposure of fruit, once the flowers are not produced, fruit cannot be produced. Then, exposure of leaves to sunlight, yes, it's long petiole, extending the leaves to expose the leaf to sunlight. Now, D, that the buds are protected. Which bud? Buds inside the leaves, which leaf? So the answer is C. Our answer to the question is option C, exposure of leaves to sunlight. Question 3. The budged eyes of the frog enables it to A. Remain submerged and yet be able to see things above the water. B. See under the water. D or C. Catch its prey. And D. Taking air from atmosphere. Now, the question is, of what use is the budged eyes of the frog for it inside water? It's not to see under the water. And it's not to catch prey. Eye is not used to catch prey. And it's not used for breathing, so it's not used for taking air from the atmosphere. So the obvious answer is A. It remains submerged inside water, all the body inside water, and yet the eye can see things around above the water. So A is the answer to the question. Question 4. Nuptial pads are found in which parts of a frog? A. Web digits of the hind limbs. B. The trunk. C. The cloaca. And D. Palms of the forelimbs. This question, you have to understand nuptial pads. Nuptial pads are just a pad in the forearms of a frog or toad, with which it grabs the female when shedding sperms on the eggs in the water So nuptial pads are possessed by male frog or toad. So with that, we know that nuptial pad is not found in the hind limbs. It's found in the palm of the fore limbs of a male frog or toad, used for holding the female during copulation. So answer to question 4 is D, palms of the forelimbs. Question 5. Frog lays eggs in jelly-like chain structure so as to A. fertilize the eggs, B. care for the eggs, C. ensure proper aeration, and D. prevent the egg from sinking. Now, the jelly-like structures actually is used by the fish, by the frog, to protect the eggs from being washed away by water current, and also to ensure, to improve fertilization of the eggs when the male is shedding the sperm externally over the eggs. Then it's also to ensure that they are well spaced for proper aeration. So in this case, you look for the plausible reason for jelly-like structures. So in this case, we consider A and C, but looking at the refunction of the jelly-like structure, C supply the answer to the question. So the answer to the question 5 is option C, which is ensure that jelly-like structure ensure proper aeration of the eggs. So C is our answer.